Make your space personal by crafting your decor. Today on Hands On.
Hands On is made possible by Elmer's Products, manufacturers of a variety of adhesives, arts and crafts, and office products for use at home, school, or business. Elmers.com. Floorcraft. Floorcraft foam. Make it fun. MakeItFunCrafts.com.
Your space is just that, your space. So why not personalize it with things that mean something to you? I'm Candie Cooper, and today is all about letting your personality show through in the space you call yours. We're making crazy duct tape buttons, a denim chair cover to hold your stuff, a surfboard sign for your room, and a jar to hold all your dreams. But first, it's this great giant button. If you love to sew or just love buying clothes, it's a great decoration for your room. Take a look. We're going to use some really great colorful duct tape to get started. So you'll also need a half round wreath form, a foam disc. These are both 12 inches in diameter, a 1-inch circle cutter, some black cardstock, a stiff bristle brush, some white craft felt, scissors, a pencil, some acrylic paint, and some tacky glue. So let's get started by covering our wreath form in duct tape. All you're going to do is start by cutting some about 6-inch to 5-inch to 6-inch pieces of duct tape. And you can start by just slicing it a little bit and then tearing it in half. And then you're just going to wrap it around your wreath form. Let's do that one more time. So you're just going to cut a piece. And you could do a bunch of these at a time and line them along your table and then just pull them up and wrap them around your wreath like this. And what you're going to do is just keep going on around. You could do these in stripes or just solid like the one I'm doing here. Take a look. This is how it should look when you're finished. The next thing you're going to do is lay your wreath form on top of your 12-inch disc and line it up, and then you're going to use your pencil to trace a line around the inside of the circle. Okay, and now we're going to start painting. There's my brush. Okay, so you've got the center part, but what you're actually going to want to do is paint a little bit outside of your line, and that is only so when you go to lay your wreath form on top that no white is showing. So you would just continue by filling the entire section in, and remember, just a little bit outside of your circle. The next thing you're going to do is start to put the outside rim of duct tape around the disc. And I've gone ahead and started this one, but this is a really easy step. But you're just going to wrap a piece of duct tape around the edge of your styrofoam disc all the way around. And then you're going to cut little notches, like I've done here, about 1 inch apart all the way around. And what's going to happen is then you're going to start folding these in all the way. And you'll keep going and going, and that way you have a nice rolled over section and not a ton of wrinkles. That's why you cut the tabs. Okay, so now you're going to have something that looks just like this. Once you have your pieces completed, you might want to back it with some craft felt. So just grab your pencil, trace around your styrofoam disc, and then you're just going to cut it out. And This is an easy step, right? And you can see you would just keep going and going until you have something like this. And the reason I want to back mine with felt is because I want to eventually hang it on the wall so I can tack some little pictures of my friends around the border of my button. So you're just going to use your thick tacky glue around the rim, and you can use Velcro to hang this on your wall. So you would just keep going around until you have the entire thing covered with glue, and then you're just going to press your felt into place, and you can work and rub this to the outer edges like that. And if you have any hanging over, I think I'm pretty good, but you can use your scissors just to trim away any excess that's showing. So the next thing we're going to do is glue this top piece, your wreath, to the form. And I'm sticking on the duct tape side so that when those two surfaces meet, I've got a nice smooth contact like that. We're almost finished. So let's grab our hole punch and black cardstock, but you could make the holes in your button any color. But I just need 4 of these. 4 little polka dots. And then you're just going to find the center and put 4 dots and press your black little polka dots into place. The nice thing about this thick glue is you can kind of scoot your dots. And there we go. And you've got a cool duct tape button.
Where do you put all of your stuff so it's handy while you're working? How about a caddy made from old jeans? Isn't this cute? You can put your pencils, pens, ruler, or anything you need. Here's what you'll need. First of all, we have an old pair of jeans. Then we have markers, and these should be permanent markers in all different widths, some stencils. I have a ruler, pencil, and some really sharp scissors. And then I've got clothespins and pins to hold things while I'm gluing it, and some all-purpose glue that works with fabric. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing we want to do is we want to cut the legs off these old jeans. And I'm going to cut them about the length that I want for my caddy. So I'm going to cut both legs off. And my scissors are really, really sharp, so they're going through both layers. But if you have trouble at home, you might want to cut one with a fabric at a time. I'm going to set that aside. Then I'm going to open this out. And I want to have that double seam. When you have jeans, they have a double seam usually on one side and a regular seam on the other. So I want to cut down this side because that seam isn't as pretty, and I really want it to look kind of that denim-y look. Then we're going to open this out. And I want it to be about 6 inches on each side. Now, you know what, chairs are all different sizes, so you might want to check what chair you plan on using this on before you make a decision how wide you want this to be. But I'm going to go about 6 inches, so that'll take it about here and about here. So I'm going to go down and make my cut. And you just want to try to be as neat and straight as you can. You could draw a pencil line if that'll help you out. But there's kind of a grain in the jean that really helps you too. Then the next thing we want to do is take that other leg of the jeans, and I'm going to cut some strips. And you know what? Let's even this edge out here a little bit too. And I'm going to cut about 1 inch to 1.5 inch strips because these are going to be what I use to tie it on to my chair. So here's my other leg here. And I'm just going to cut some skinny strips. And I've got those all set. So let's get this all out of the way, all these extra jeans. And the other thing I want to do is cut out these pockets. So I'm going to cut down into the jean to make this a little bit easier to get to. Lots of double seams here. And cut out both of the pockets from these jeans. And I've got that all set. So let me put that aside. Okay. So here we are with the one I've got ready. And I've started gluing on my pieces and parts. So I've glued one pocket here, And now it's time to glue the other pocket on. So I'm going to put glue along the edge. And you can see when I cut, it's easier to see too on this pocket. I cut that inside of the pocket and left all that seaming, because that's kind of what makes jeans are those double seams. And I'm only going to go around 3 sides, just like a normal pocket. And I'm going to put that in place. You can also see too, I left the bottom of the jeans because I think that looks good at the bottom. And then I'm going to start putting my strings on. Now, every chair is different. Some of them have a wider section. So we're going to tie this around the chair. But you may find that your chair is different and it's got rungs. So maybe you want to put a double strand or a double tie here. So that's what I've done here. So let me take another one here. Place this underneath here, and we're going to put all double ties. Again, I'm going to put some glue here. And it's really important that you use a glue that is meant to be used with porous materials. And porous means that it'll absorb the glue. So I'm going to put that in place, and let's put a clothespin here to hold that so it's nice and tight. And the other thing you might want to do is turn this under and glue there. But we've got our pockets. Now it's time to start stenciling. Now these stencils are all different shapes and sizes. They're shapes, letters, whatever. The important thing is to punch out the center and be kind of gentle as you're punching these, because you want to be able to use these over and over again. So I'm going to write a name on this one. This one's going to say Allie. And let's take orange. And I'm going to take my fine tip first to go around the edge. And I'm drawing right onto my denim. And I'm not really worrying too much about how perfect, because I'm going to fill that in afterwards. So I've got my A, L, and the I think is just going to fit just perfect in here. And then you want to start personalizing with all the things that maybe Allie likes. So it could be shapes, it could be, I've got a peace sign here that I popped out. How about an arrow? And let's fill these in with the tip. So I'm using the wider tip to fill in. And you know how stencils kind of separate the letters? I can continue the letter so that it's a full letter. And go with Allie. Now I could write pens or pencils, or maybe I'm going to keep my notebook in here. You can choose whatever you'd like. The other thing is on these markers, one side is orange, the other side is green. So let's add a green peace sign here. And you can decorate them any way you'd like. And of course, then I'd finish up by finishing this side, putting ties in 3 places so I can tie it onto my chair, and then load this up with pens and pencils. So let's take a look at the finished one. Personalize it exactly with the things that you like to do.
How about creating some really lightweight decorations for your room? To do that, we're going to use this really awesome foam board that comes in a ton of different colors. I'm going to start with making a surfboard with this. It looks like white, but really it's blue on the other side. So the first thing we're going to do is trace out your design or sketch out your design. You can make a pattern first, or you can just kind of eyeball it like I am here. Surfboards are a really easy shape to start with because they're kind of curved and then they come to a point at the top. Now to cut this out, you're going to want to have a protective surface down and a craft knife. And this is also where you need some adult supervision because craft knives are sharp and you can hurt yourself. So I'm just going to make a really slow, smooth cut down the side of my line here. And sometimes with foam board, you'll want to make 2 cuts so you get a really nice, smooth edge. And you would just do this and slide your board down as you go for both sides of the surfboard. And I've got one cut out right here. I'll put my cap back on so we're all safe. Okay, now for the fun part. let's talk about a few things you might need to decorate your wall decor. So, we got some fabric pieces, large chenille stems, some stencils, and these are really cool because when you get a pack of these, you'll find that there's shapes in them as well as letters. Some paint pens are handy because it shows up on all different colors of board, plastic lacing in whatever color you want, and a pencil, a craft knife, some scissors, and you may need some glue. So let's get started. I'm going to grab the yellow and start decorating the sunny part on the surfboard. And you can see how that color shows up really great. Now don't forget, before you start using your paint pens, you'll want to make sure to give them a good shake before you go. And this is a section that I've already worked on, but once it dries, you can go over it again to add some more color. I'm kind of making mine sort of graffiti-like. The other thing that you may want to do is grab your stencils and you can outline shapes this way really, really easily. And remember, there's letters in your stencil pack too, so you could spell out your name or your friend's name, or if you're having a birthday party, this would make a great like luau decoration, whatever you want. And you can color while your stencil is still in place. Now my other favorite idea I have to share with you with foam board is actually taking a really familiar object that you love and making it ginormous. So I'm going to put this down and check this out. You can do this with any shape, but I love my flip-flops. So I want to make a ginormous flip-flop. So I started by grabbing a piece of paper that I had this is from some packing material. So I unfolded it and then I just sketched out a really easy flip-flop design. Okay, once you get your shape of whatever you want to make, like skateboard or roller skates, you can sketch it out onto your foam core, cut it out, and you have something that looks almost like this. I've already started embellishing mine. So the next thing you may want to do is actually poke a hole in your foam board. And again, you're going to need an adult to help you with this, but you just want to make a small incision in the shape of an X. And that kind of is the start of your hole. And then you can use your scissors. I'm just going to use both ends here to sort of wiggle that through to the other side. There we go. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit messy around the edge because you're going to push your large chenille stem in. And this is where you'll want to use some of your all-purpose glue around and inside the hole. And then you can just push this end of the chenille stem down in. Another fun idea to embellish your flip-flop is, you might have already done this if you're crafty, but you can tie little ribbons, fabric ribbons, down the length of your flip-flop. And this is going to be a really fun decoration for your room. And you can trim the ends if you want. And you could keep going, and that would look really cool. Lastly, I kind of want to talk to you about, how do you hang this foam core? Well, how about some plastic lacing? I've got a piece here that I've already started braiding, and all you have to do is knot the end, and you can put whatever colors you want. You could do 3 different colors, whatever you want, but you can just braid it and then poke a hole in it like I just showed you, and tie a couple knots around your piece and hang it right on the wall. So make a really great decoration for your room. Make your dreams a reality by creating a personal dream jar for all the things you want to do. The first thing you're going to need to create your dream jar is an actual jar with a lid. Then you'll need some all-purpose glue, some rubber cement, decorative edge scissors, regular scissors, a pencil, some paintbrushes, a small hole punch, some acrylic paint, reusable stencils, tissue paper, and cardstock and decorative papers in whatever pattern you like, some rubber bands, and some brads. Okay, let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually make a little glue and water mixture. I'm just going to put some glue in my tray here, and then you're just going to drop a few drops of water down in the glue. And we're going to start with some tissue paper, and I've actually gone ahead and torn some pieces ahead of time, but this is really easy. You know how to tear paper. And then you're going to grab a jar and start covering it with tissue paper. So I'm just going to paint some glue on here, and then you can see you just seal down your paper with some more glue, and you can keep overlapping your pieces. And the tissue paper is nice because the glue and water mixture saturates it really fast, and then it just rolls over your glass jars really easy. So once you cover your entire jar, the next thing you're going to want to do is paint your lid. And I've got some other just regular acrylic paint, and I'm going to put one coat on it, but you're going to want to set this aside once you get your first coat on, leave it to dry, and then add a second coat. Okay, now let's make some decorations for the front of our jar. You can see this one has some stars and some words, so let's go ahead and start with the words. So you're just going to take your permanent marker, I'm going to grab one over here, and write out the word dream. Make sure you shake up, this is a special paint pen that is really thick, but make sure you shake it up before you start. And you can just write out the word dreams however you want. There we go. You can add all different kinds of embellishment. Then let that dry, and then I'm going to use some really funky zigzag scissors to cut this out. And now we're going to back it with a darker piece of cardstock. And I'm actually going to cut it with the zigzag scissors as well. And that will look really neat against our tissue paper jar. I made that a little bit long, so I'm just going to cut it down a little bit, and on this side, and we should be good to go. Now, grab your hole punch, and actually, to make sure that this looks really good, I'm going to first put a layer of rubber cement down, because rubber cement is really good when you want to stick paper to paper, and you want a nice thin coat. Okay, now we'll press that into place, and don't worry if it's sticking out the side, because once it dries, you can rub it away with your finger really easily. Okay, so we'll press that down, and then let's cut out some star shapes with our stencil. So I've got some extra orange cardstock here, and all you're going to do is lay your stencil down. I like to work in the corner of my paper so I can get as many stars from my paper as I can. And then just trace your design onto your cardstock. And there's all different shapes that come in your stencil pack. So you may want hearts or a peace sign, whatever you like for your dream jar. And then you can cut these out with regular scissors. And I've got some over here to show you. The other thing you can do is kind of outline them with your permanent marker to match. And you don't have to outline them or leave it at just outlining. These markers make really great polka dots as well. I think I want some polka dots on this star, so you can make some speckles. Okay, and then you're going to grab your hole punch, and this is more for just simple embellishment, just to add a little jazz up your dream piece here. And then you're going to pull these brads apart like this, and that looks really dandy on the front of your jar. So now let's grab your finished jar, and you're just going to use your regular school glue to glue your embellishments on. Let's start with a star. And I'm going to put a little rectangle of glue on, and then you're just going to press this into place. And you may, whoops, let's put it right side up, but you may have to slide a rubber band over the entire jar. This is where it helps to have a grown-up or somebody, a second set of hands, to slide this over, and then that'll hold your round shape while your tag in front dries. And don't forget to fill this with all your dreams and wishes. What kinds of things do you like? Make sure and make them a part of your own personal space. See you again next time as Hands-On has more craft fun, and fun is the key word for all of your creations. Hope you'll join us.
Projects and ideas from today's show, plus hundreds of other kids' craft projects for every occasion, season, and even school subject are available on the web at craftsforkids.com. This is show 1407. A DVD set of all 13 episodes of Hands-On Crafts for Kids, Crafting Every Day, Series 1400, is available for $39.99 plus shipping and handling. Visit craftsforkids.com to order. Make crafting a part of every day with Hands-On. Hands-On is made possible by Elmer's Products, manufacturers of a variety of adhesives, arts and crafts, and office products for use at home, school, or business. Elmers.com. Floracraft. Floracraft foam. Make it fun. MakeItFunCrafts.com.